Crypto Anup altcoins. Let's go. Welcome everyone and thank you so much for joining in. As we can see today, we are going to jump into Pepe. We are going to jump into Cardano, Lido, Link, and at the end, we are also going to look into Optimism. Yes, guys, we are going to talk about all of these altcoins in today's video. So please, first thing first, destroy that like button if you haven't done it yet. And for those individuals watching this the first time, hit the subscribe button and the bell. Now, starting this year in a 4-hour time frame for Pepe, we did talk about this scenario on my previous video where I showed you guys the price of Pepe has already broken out from this parabolic trend. This parabolic trend has already ended and now we are clearly hitting here to the downside, and I want you guys to look at this price formation after this bearish continuation. I mean, after this massive parabolic move. Now what we are witnessing here is a corrective move, and also inside this corrective move the price of Pepe is forming this broadening bottom. Broadening bottom is usually considered bullish, but for an actual confirmation we have said the price in the medium short term must hold this key line of support where we are right now. I mean, this price range of 0.00000167 must be held at any cost, because breaking below that means bullish scenario which could be playing out here. An inverse head and shoulder is going to get invalidated and price in that case could be getting attracted towards the next area of confluence here to the downside, which would mean another 30 to 35% price retracement. So please watch carefully around this horizontal trend line, because once we break below it, the price of Pepe could be seeing another massive corrective movement in the upcoming days. Now, if we switch into Cardano or ADA, we can see very clearly, guys. If we look at the price structure in a daily time frame, we right now are following this ascending channel where the upper line is acting as a strong line of resistance, lower line is acting as a strong line of support. Now, if this trend continuation is going to happen, I mean the price of Cardano after some range bound show another massive movement like this, what must happen here in price action? If you look at this previous price action, you can see very clearly, guys, the price of Cardano formed a rising wedge. This rising wedge is a bearish scenario. Yes, we broke the support, and as soon as we broke the support, we started with this corrective movement. And when we found support at the lower trend line, after that we started consolidating and also formed a new higher lows, because this here is higher highs, higher lows continuation pattern type of formation. So now if we look in our case, I mean, if we look at the price structure here, we could be forming a formation which is known as falling wedge. Falling wedge is a bullish continuation pattern. So since the lower line is holding the price, right, and upper line is rejecting the price, we just need the price of Bitcoin to finally break above it. Even if we do see any sort of a shakeout around the price range of 34-35 cents, we need to hold that at any cost, because if we do manage to hold that support line, just like here from the past price action, after finding support at the lower line from this ascending channel, we could be breaking out from this falling wedge, and falling wedge breakout usually leads to a continuation here to the upside. And in our case, since the price is already following this higher highs, higher lows continuation pattern type of formation, we could be seeing another impulsive movement here in price action of Cardano. So for that, we need to overcome the resistance around 37 cents and also hold the support above 35 cents. So let's monitor the price movement around this range carefully. Now let's switch into Lido, LTO USDT here in a weekly time frame. The reason why I'm showing you here in a weekly time frame is because the price right now, if we look at this formation, we are clearly following this rising wedge. Rising wedge is a bearish continuation pattern. In our case, we have to monitor the price movement carefully, the area where we are right now carefully, because we have found support at this lower trend line. And in the past price action, just like with the Cardano, right, finding support at the lower trend line has resulted in an impulsive movement. We want this exact scenario to play out here, but for that we need to be careful. Why? Because just like here from the past price action, only after breaking out from this falling channel or bull flag type of formation inside this rising wedge, right, you can see this bullish breakout happened once we flipped the upper trend line into support. We got attracted towards this upper trend line, and now this exact scenario could be playing out here. I mean, the price of Lido or LTO could be following another bullish formation known as falling wedge. Falling wedge is a bullish continuation pattern once we flip the upper trend line into resistance, just like here from the past price action. So if the price of Lido could break the resistance around $2.30, then I think with some range bound, there is a very high probability for this trend to slowly get attracted towards this upper trend line, which would result in another 40 to 50% impulsive movement for the upcoming days before deciding the trend duration. But if we fail to break out from this upper line area from the descending channel, then we should also prepare ourselves for another continuation towards the lower trend line before deciding the trend duration. And this lower trend line from the area where we are could result in another 15 to 20% price retracement for the upcoming days. So let's monitor this price movement along with Cardano very carefully. And now guys, now let's switch into Chainlink price action. So before I start talking about the Chainlink price action here in a weekly time frame, please guys, try that like button if you haven't done it yet, and for those individuals watching this the first time, hit the subscribe button and the bell. Now if you look at this price movement of Chainlink, you can see guys, after this parabolic move or after this markup phase, we are clearly in a markdown phase, and we are also accumulating or consolidating since years. Yes, if we look at this price movement, you can see guys, the price of Chainlink is consolidating more than a year, and that could result in some very interesting price movement in the upcoming days. Why? Because finding support or consolidating like this for years could be preparing the price for another impulsive or a new markup phase for the upcoming days. Because if you simply monitor the price structure around this area, you can see we are clearly range bounding since couple of days. So this here looks like more of a accumulation phase. So now if I would add an accumulation example from Wyckoff, it might not be exactly just like here, but you can see very clearly guys, there has been a similar movement just like as shown here in an example with some range bound, right, with some shakeout. The price of Chainlink has finally started to show some support around this very important phase between C and D. Yes, phase C, phase D. So in the medium short term, if the price of Chainlink does manages to find support around the area where we are, $6.50, then we could still expect this price after some range bound to slowly get attracted towards the upper trend line. Yes, just like this one here, a slow move towards the upper trend line before deciding the trend duration. Because if we fail to break above this trend line, or if we fail to hold the support where we are, then please be careful guys. In a weekly, we could be forming a double top type of formation. So breaking the neckline or failing to hold support around the $6 to $6.50 could result in another final continuation here to the downside towards the lower trend line, which will trigger another sell-off, 19 to 20% price retracement before finding bottom and before starting this new markup phase. But I personally think accumulating between the range of $5 to $6 for the upcoming bull market is not a bad idea, because we can see clearly the price is range bounding between this range of $9 to $4.08. And if you look at the average price, it's not that bad to accumulate more around this $5, $6 price range. And now, beside Chainlink, beside Lido, even Cardano and Pepe, let's look at this Optimism price action. Looking at this Optimism price action in a daily time frame, it's very simple, guys. We can see this lower trend line, this rising trend line right now is acting as a strong line of support. And if we look at the area where we are, this price movement is inside a descending channel where the upper line is acting as a line of resistance, right? And lower line acting as a line of support. So in the immediate short term, if we do manage to find support above this $1.50, $1.60, then there is a probability for price after some range bound to slowly get attracted towards this upper trend line one more time before deciding the trend duration. Because we know if that does happen, I mean, just like here from the past price action, after finding support at the lower trend line, price usually shows impulsive movement. If we do see this impulsive movement playing out, then it would be another 50 to 55% price movement. Yes, guys, impulsive movement which could bring the price of Optimism around the upper trend line from the descending channel before deciding the trend duration. But if the entire market starts showing bearishness, if the price of Optimism breaks the support where we are right now around $1.60, $1.50, then this lower trend line is where we are going to monitor the price action. Because in the past price action, we have found out after finding support at this lower trend line, this lower rising trend line, after that we have started a really nice impulsive movement. So that's why I am actually expecting, if we do see a corrective movement, then a drop of 20%, 20, 22%. And if the bullish scenario plays out, I mean, if the price holds the support on $1.60, $1.50, then a very nice impulsive movement, just like here from the past price action. After finding support on the lower trend line, we had a very nice impulsive movement, and this exact scenario could be playing out here as well. So these were some of the quick update on Optimism, Link, Lido, Cardano, and Pepe. If you enjoyed my work, then please try that like button, and for those individuals watching for the first time, hit the subscribe button and the bell. Now by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye.